Hey everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to my channel. So before I say anything, you probably saw from the title that I'm claiming to be a psychic. Before anyone assumes anything, no, I can't voluntarily predict the future. If I could, my life would probably be a lot better than it is. Just like a little background on why I think that I'm psychic. I don't know, I've only researched psychic abilities a little bit, and for me, it comes in my dreams. It's not like I have visions or anything, it's just in my dreams. And it's not like all my dreams happen, only a very small portion of them. But today, this is the one dream that happened and it made a huge impact on my life and it was crazy. It was just like unbelievable. This experience is why I think I'm psychic. I haven't had anything huge happen besides this dream, but I've had little experiences where I'd have a dream about something and it'd happen, and I know it could all be coincidental, but this one story I'm going to be telling you is how I predicted that I was adopted. I also want to say a couple more things about psychic abilities or whatever, what I think I have. So I researched like signs of being psychic because I was just curious, and a couple things that I looked up I have experienced, I'd say. I probably sound nuts, but I swear once you hear this story, you'll be as freaked out as I am. And this was a couple years ago, and I haven't talked about it since, really, but I wanted to put it out there because, I don't know, I just wanted to. It's only in dreams for me, that's one thing. And also, some signs. I'm gonna link the website down below I was looking at. It was very quick. I just wanted some credibility. I've always felt out of place from everyone else. I've always felt strange and, you know, whatever. I guess everyone feels that way at some point, but like it's been my entire life, even when I was little. Not always in a negative way, just like I feel different than everyone else. I don't know. Like not fitting in and, you know, just like a hard time with like society, I guess. I also like can sense, like pick up energies from places. Not all places though, but like I can feel like, not like a presence, but like a vibe of the place, if you know what I mean. Like I can sense like if it's good, if it's like it has a weird energy or something like that. I don't know if that's just my head or like I'm a weirdo, but like it happens and I don't really like say anything about it. It's just like it's a mental thing and it like happens and I just disregard it because I thought everyone does that. Maybe they do, but like I looked up on the website and apparently it's a sign of being psychic, so I don't know. I thought it was just judgment. I'm also really afraid of the dark, which like a lot of people are, but it's weird. Like I didn't think this was like a sign of being psychic, but like apparently it's like your senses like going and like you can sense something in the dark. I don't know. You could read more about it when I link the article down below, but I thought that was pretty interesting too. And also I understand animals, not in like a sense that I can like read their minds or like how they're feeling or whatever, but like I have a really good connection with animals. A lot of animals tend to like me. I know like some people they like don't like animals don't like, but like I don't know, I'm definitely an animal person. Like I interact with them well and I've never had a problem with an animal not liking me. That might just be like my personality, I don't know. That's another thing, that they can sense your psychic abilities. When I meet people, I can get a good sense of like how they are as a person and like I kind of know a little bit about them. Not like their actual lives, but like how their personality is. Like if I get a good vibe, a bad vibe, but like I've been fooled, so I don't know. It's not like the judgment kind of way, like ooh, I get like I judge them based on their looks. I get like a feeling, like a sense. Anyways, I sound like a complete weirdo, so this is already 5 minutes. I'm gonna get right into the story of my dream of how I found out I was adopted. And I'm not lying about this. This actually happened. I wrote my college essay on it. I wrote a few essays in senior year about it. It was a thing that happened, and it's how I found out I was adopted. You can ask my parents, you can ask my teacher that helped me write my college essay. I wouldn't lie about something like this. This is genuinely how I found out I was adopted. It's crazy, and I have it all written out so I don't forget anything. So I'm just gonna get started. So it all started a couple days before I went into high school, freshman year. I was 13 years old, and I went to sleep like any other normal night. Just went to bed, no weird feelings. So I began to drift off to sleep, and all I remember in the dream is being in my backyard with my mom. It was very casual. It was just like, you know, normal day. It felt very, very real. I had like an overwhelming urge to ask my mom if I was adopted. I had like this overwhelming feeling like, oh my God, I'm adopted. I have to ask my mom. Came out of nowhere. And like, let me preface this by saying no one in my family has ever hinted that I was adopted. It was just like completely random. I never even thought about it. Like, I kind of look like my family. We have the same like ethnicities or whatever you want to say, nationalities, and like, yeah, I look like my dad. It never came across that like, oh, I'm adopted, I look so different. I look like my family kind of, so it was just never a thought. But yeah, in the dream I felt like this overwhelming urge, like, oh my God, I'm adopted, I need to tell someone, let me ask mom. I was like, Mom, am I adopted? And this was all in the dream. She began to tell me I was, and she started crying, blah, 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 blah. And I jolted awake. I was so scared. I was crying. I was just very shaken up. Usually when I have bad dreams, after like a day or two, I just like brush them off. And not even like a day or two, like a couple hours, I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I go on with my life. But this dream stuck with me. I don't know what it was. Well, now I know what it was, but at the time, I was like, what the heck? This is so weird. Very late age to find out you were adopted, by the way. But yeah, I was like, there's no way. This is crazy. So time passes. Something just felt so off. I had to like do something about it. So just like the dream, I went and talked to my mom. It wasn't in the backyard, so it's not like I can like perfectly vision it like That's So Raven, like a picture in my head. But the scenario was the same. So I talked to my mom. I was like, Mom, I had the weirdest dream last night. I dreamt that I was adopted. How crazy is that, right? And she looked at me confused, and she looked a little shaken up, and I was like, okay. And she avoided my statement, and I was like, that's weird. So I started laughing. I was like, there's no way I am, right? Trying to like edge her on or whatever. She was very quiet, and she looked like concerned kind of, but she tried to hold it in. She was like, no, Heath, you're not adopted. So whatever, I was like, okay, she would definitely tell me if I was at this point. I've asked, blah, 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 blah. Time passes. Later that day, it kept bothering me and I couldn't take my mind off of it. So when my dad got home from work, I remember this very clearly. My dad was coming in the door and my mom and I were on like the upper, like my door's here and there's steps and then there's like a landing here. Me and my mom were on the landing and my dad was coming through the door. And my mom said to me, Heather, why don't you tell your dad about the weird dream you had last night? And I was like, okay, I guess. I began to explain to my dad the dream that I had, and he went completely pale, and he was so silent, and he's the jokester of the family. I love my dad. We have very similar personalities, and he usually jokes about everything, laughs, smiles it off, whatever. But I've never seen him look like this. He was so pale and he just went quiet and didn't say anything. So I was like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? They both began to cry and they told me that I was in fact adopted, and it was something that I will never forget. Yeah, so they sat me down and told me that I was adopted. I was adopted at birth, and yeah, just simple as that. But yeah, I never expected the dream to be true. I don't know where it came from. It couldn't have been memories from when I was like a small child or whatever, because I never went through foster care. As soon as I was born, I was handed to my parents like 3 hours later. So there's no way I would have known. It's just crazy. Like, you can be a skeptic all you want. I know like how I felt when I found out that my dream was correct and I basically predicted that I was adopted. No one's ever really like told me like my family didn't do anything. They never treated me differently, which like why would they? It's not like I'm an alien. I'm just, not blood related. So none of my family treated me any differently when I didn't know, and I don't know, it was never a topic, and my parents were trying to find a good time to tell me, and honestly, there was never really a good time. I've always had issues going on, like, backstabbing friends. Then I went through a little depression when I was younger. Not really depression, but like now that I look back at it, I refer to it as depression because I literally like wanted to like cry all the time, and it was just, not a good time ever. I don't know, it just came to me in a dream, and that's how I found out. and it was one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me, and I will never forget it. Please don't leave hate. This is just me sharing my experience, and I get how this could seem unbelievable and like a little out there, but it did really happen. I don't know how much I could stress that. Since then, I've had like little stuff happen, like me dreaming about stuff and then it happening, or my dreams like telling me to do something and like it ended up, I don't know. There's so many little things I could make a story time about, but this is the one story that basically there's no other way to put it than I predicted that I was adopted. I really hope you enjoyed. If you've ever had an experience like this, definitely leave a comment down below. There's no way of explaining it, so yeah, let me know what you thought, and leave a comment down below if this has ever happened to you, or something similar, or whatever, more facts about being a psychic or whatever. I will link down where I found the like traits of a psychic that I matched up with, and yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Mwah.